What is up, brothers and sisters? And in this one, this is going to be a different flavor. It's going to be very chill, but I wanted to throw my hat into the podcast arena, so that's why we're here. So I'm doing a podcast now. It's called Here For It, because that's what I'm here. I'm here for it all. This is a gaming podcast. This is a gaming channel. And as any channel, whether it's cable or you're looking at an app, you're always going to have different forms of content. So this podcast is my way to have a different form of content where we're going to be talking about what's going on in gaming in general. And I am a casual player in other games. I'm not in the weeds. I don't know about the industry. I'm not going to pretend to. And I'm sure a lot of you aren't really into the industry as well. So don't expect me to be diving in and having some takes from sources and all this other stuff, because that's not what this podcast is, y'all. So if you think that's what this is, you can go ahead and turn it off. It's okay, because I understand I'm not for everybody. So a couple things that I want to be hitting on in this particular podcast, in this Here For It podcast. I'm just going to be covering gaming in general. I want to talk about this Marvel 6v6. Going to jump into that because I'm a huge Marvel fan. If you look in the background, you'll see I got my Stan Lee book back there. I got different Marvel figurines back there. And I'm going to be talking about why gaming as well. And in my why gaming segment, I'm going to cover a lot of the things that you will see behind me, because I think it's important to understand, who am I? Who is this guy and why is he even talking? Why should I listen to him? Hopefully you appreciate me like I appreciate you watching, and you'll tune in because you want to hear about or discuss things with me. Because if you guys comment on things, I'm going to jump in the comments and talk back with you. I'm not somebody that's just going to annoy you or delete your comment or whatever. That's not my style, but I want to hear from you. Another thing I want to talk about is XDefiant. Now, XDefiant is a shooter, a very popular shooter for a game that hasn't come out, but I think it will be popular, and I'm going to tell you why I enjoy the betas. I played both betas. Why I enjoyed the betas, going to get into that conversation a little bit, and I'm not great at shooters, but we'll touch on that. And then another thing I want to talk about is NCAA 2025. So NCAA 2025, I'm a big sports fanatic. I'm a big North Carolina Tar Heels fan. I'm a Minnesota Vikings fan. So I'm into sports, basketball, football. Those are the major ones that I'm into. And I am really looking forward to NCAA 2025, and I'm going to tell you why. So let's go ahead and start with Marvel 6v6. So the first thought when I saw this, I was like, a new Marvel game. I'm fired up because, number one, PS5, they seem to have the best Marvel game, and that's the Spider-Man series. But I haven't touched it. I've never played it. You know why? It's exclusive to PS5. And I have Xbox. I've been with Xbox since the beginning. Touch on that later. So it's not on Xbox. I don't play it on PC. I just started playing on PC a couple of years ago. So we're talking 2022 is when I first started playing on PC. So it's not like I jumped into any of the big Marvel games there. I think Disney Storm is probably one of the few games that I actually played. It's a kart racer, or Speedstorm, Disney Speedstorm game. I played that, and that's a kart racer. But aside from that, this Marvel 6v6, when I saw it dropping, I know it's going to be an alpha playtest that's coming. I'm fired up for it because I'm looking for some new Marvel content that I can get my hands on. And the fact that it's a shooter made me crazy excited. I was really excited when I saw the trailer, but I also got worried. And I want to tell you why I was worried. I felt like I was watching Marvel vs. Capcom, like re-engineered. It felt like Marvel vs. Capcom re-engineered. And then I saw people talking about Overwatch. Now, I might surprise you. I've never played Overwatch yet. Never. I've never played Overwatch. You're probably like, yeah, I'm not surprised. But yeah, I've never played Overwatch. And I don't know anything about Overwatch. But it looked like Marvel vs. Capcom re-engineered to me. So if you like Overwatch, you can tell me, okay, why? Is it just the art style? Is it the play style? Is it what you saw? Because I did look at some Overwatch gameplay. I have watched some Regiment Gaming members play Overwatch. And I was like, I don't know if this is for me. So that's why I have some reservations. But that's not all. I also have my reservations because when has Marvel done a really good video game? When has Marvel done a really good video game? Like I said, I haven't touched the Spider-Man game, so I'm not going to be talking about that. But that Avengers game came out, and I was so fired up for it. I jumped in, I played it, I was like, this is going to be it. Blew through the story, couldn't put it down, wanted to keep playing, and then it got old. It got old really fast. I wasn't enjoying it. Even the team-ups, just wasn't for me. After a while, I thought it was going to be fun to continue playing, but it just wasn't it. It didn't do it for me, and I stopped. I put it down. I even bought like the collector's edition when it comes out. I was so fired up for it, and it was a big fail for me. It's a big fail. So I'm hoping it's going to be better. But then they talked about the company that was making it. Like I said, I'm not going to get into the industry stuff too hard. Just want to talk about the games in general. But they mentioned NetEase, and apparently NetEase is primarily mobile games. They primarily do mobile games. And with that being said, there's a lot of microtransactions involved. And we know that Marvel 6v6 is a free-to-play game. So we're talking about a free-to-play game. Microtransactions are coming. So how bad will it be? A lot of games, I'm not going to harp on the microtransactions, but nobody likes them. But in this case, it's a free-to-play game. It's not like you're paying for the game and you get the microtransactions on top of it. It's a free-to-play game where I'm sure you can get things along the way, but you can also pay to play. But we want pay to play, not pay to win. As long as it's pay to play, not pay to win, I have no problem with the microtransactions. I'm gonna find characters that I like to play, and I'm gonna go from there. And when we're talking about shooters in general, I'm loving that it's a Marvel shooter because and all these heroes, even the new heroes, Luna Snow that they threw in, that's a recent Marvel character that they actually created and added. So that's good to see. But I'm not good at shooters, y'all. I suck at shooters. And that's just an issue that I have in general. I just suck at shooters. So I'm hoping that I can kind of turn that around with this Marvel 6v6. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. But I want to know, what do you guys think about the Marvel 6v6 shooter that's going to be coming? Are you going to be trying to jump in the alpha test? I did put my name in the hat. I haven't received an email that I'm going to be able to play it, but I did put my name in the hat. And I want to know what you think. Do you think this is going to be good? Do you think this is exactly the Marvel game that we need going forward? I'm curious. So let me know if you watched this video this long, or if you tuned in to MisterArdor Downloads. That's where you also be able to see this podcast, and I can put a link to that in the description of the video if you're curious, because I want to put it in both places because this is the podcast form. So just let me know what your thoughts are either way in the comments. But either way, I'm going to be looking forward to this. I can't wait for it. I'm excited for it. And I'm going to suck. I already know. But I'm still going to have a blast playing it. There's no doubt. There's no doubt I'm going to have a blast, at least initially. So I'm really hoping I can get my hands on the alpha test and really get an idea if I'm really going to enjoy it, this Overwatch style. Because like I said, I never play Overwatch. So hopefully I like it. I don't know. But I'm thinking I'm gonna have a blast. Kind of going all over the place, but I want to have a good Marvel game so bad, y'all, that I'm probably going back and forth even in my own brain. I got like an angel and a devil, and it's saying like, nah, this is good. You remember the past. Don't forget the past. That's just how I go. But curious what you guys think. We're gonna jump into the next topic, which is gonna be XDefiant. Now for XDefiant, I played both of those betas, and I really had some fun playing those. Another shooter that I wasn't good at, but it was a lot of fun. Kind of reminded me definitely of the Call of Duty days. I haven't played Call of Duty, like really trying to get better at Call of Duty, since Black Ops 2. So that's a long time ago. I mean, maybe even some of y'all, it could be people that watch this or hear this that weren't even born, with Black Ops 2, so that's a long time ago, man. But that was the last time that I really enjoyed a Call of Duty game. So When I got my hands on XDefiant, for some reason, I was invigorated. There was something about that game that really invigorated me, and I'm like, man, I just want to get a little better at this game. I liked it. Even though I was getting destroyed, I was having lots of fun. I'm sure my teammates didn't appreciate it, but I was trying, and I wanted to keep trying. It made me want to keep trying. And it was very fast paced. I like how when you died, you came back like immediately, and you're right back into the fight. And that was part of the fun of it. You know, and I'm not going to do ranked. I probably would never do ranked in this, but I really enjoyed the game. So I want to know, what are they going to do, and when is this game going to release? Because XDefiant is delayed again. I actually had a reminder that popped up in my phone on March 30th. I think it was March 29th. Yeah, March 29th. So on March 29th, it popped up on my phone and said XDefiant releases today. It's delayed. It's not here. It's not here. And it's going to be delayed for another couple months. But why is it delayed? They're having some issues. They're talking about infighting that's going on in Ubisoft. They're talking about it's a toxic environment. Now, of course, we're never going to know. Being on the outside, we're never going to really know what's going on behind closed doors. But I tell you what, the game itself, I just want it to come out. I want it to be good. And if whatever they got to do in the background to get that situated, I want them to do that, because I want the best game possible. I want the best game possible. But what are you thinking? What are you thinking about XDefiant? Are you looking forward to XDefiant like I am? Are you a big shooters fan? I'm just curious. But I'll tell you one thing and one faction. I want to know what faction they're going to have, because I know XDefiant is like from all these different factions. And I say but a lot. I'm saying but a lot. I think I'm using but as a filler word, y'all. This is my first one. I'm working out the kinks here. I'm working out the kinks, and you're seeing the kinks. It is what it is, all right? But with XDefiant, I wonder if they're going to incorporate, they're never going to incorporate For Honor characters or Assassin's Creed characters. I mean, it is a shooter, but we thought For Honor wasn't going to have all the goofy stuff that they have in it. And look what they have in the game. So it is possible we could have some skins like related to For Honor heroes. I hope we do, because it's all related. I would love to have a For Honor faction in XDefiant. I mean, why not? Who cares? They talk about realism. Come on now. We're past the realism point. I think we're already past the realism point in any of these games. Unless that's your base, that's where you started. It's not about that. It's not about the realism anymore. It's just about a fun gameplay experience. And I think even For Honor figured that out when the beginning they started out and we thought it was going to be a serious game, and then it turned into something completely different. You know, but they still, at the core, it's still a great gameplay experience, in my opinion. I really enjoy it. Now that they got the balancing a lot better than what it was initially, and the gameplay experience in general. So XDefiant is going to be another entry that UB is making into the shooter realm. We know the success that they've had with Rainbow Six Siege. I loved Siege when it first came out. Tried to jump back into it, got kicked from a couple matches, and I said, okay, I guess I can't play Siege anymore. And that's the one thing that concerns me even with XDefiant, because I'm bad at shooters. So they need to get the matchmaking right, because they said they weren't going to they were going to put everybody in a big pot. So us worse players like me have to just get up and work to the level of the really good players. And that's going to frustrate the really good players, especially when they're just doing random matchmaking, because they're going to be like, gosh, dang, these guys are so bad. How am I going to have a chance to win if I'm constantly playing with bad players? You know, but that's where you have your rank. That's where you have your competitive side. And then you have your more casual side, which is where I will be. So I hope I don't harm those guys too much, but I'm saying but a lot. We just got to figure it out. I think we just all got to figure it out as far as players are concerned, me included. What is going to be in the best interest of this game? And hopefully the devs are going to listen to these players as we go along. Now, I think there was one more topic with XDefiant I wanted to touch on. Nope, I just want to talk about is fun gameplay is delayed. And that's the only couple things that I want to touch on with XDefiant. And I just want to know what you guys think. Now, what are you looking forward to XDefiant or not? I really am. Just get this dang game released so we can have fun with it. That's the bottom line for me. But I'm curious about, is NCAA 25, is the hype real? You know, because NCAA never sold as many copies as Madden. It never was on that level as Madden. And I think this iteration is going to do well because a lot of people are fired up for it. You'll see they're making the deals with the players to get their actual, because of the name, image, and likeness deals that they made with the players to get them in the game. I'm looking forward to that. I will be repping my Tar Heels. If I see you online, you better watch out, because I will get good at this game, because I love it. I love the last one. And I didn't really play Madden. I played NCAA more than I played Madden. So I'm really looking forward to that. But, saying but again, how is it going to be once we go into 26? When I say 26, like next year. So we're gonna get in the same kind of rut of just another year with minor changes. I would rather this be just NCAA football, not NCAA 25. Just make it NCAA football. That's good enough. Or college football. I'm sorry, college football. Just make it college football. That's it. That's all we need. We don't need a year on it, because now we know we're probably going to get just a roster update next year. And that's what I'm not looking forward to with this game, is a roster update. I want a live service game. Give me a college football game that's a live service game. Now, I know there was another football game that's supposed to be coming out. We still haven't seen it, and they were supposed to release last year. That didn't happen. So we'll see what happens with that game in the future. Hopefully it comes. I was looking forward to it because it has all these customization options that we can do. Like, I planned on putting my own team in there, and that would have been cool. But now that we have NCAA, I don't know how that's gonna feel. I don't know. I might just be jumping in NCAA and not so much in the other football game that they're gonna do. I wish I could remember the name of it at the moment. If I can, I'm gonna put it in the video so you can see it. But I'm fired up to play NCAA 2025. It's a long time coming, and I can't wait for it. Hope you guys are excited as well. If you're a sports fan, I know you're excited, or a sports gaming fan, I really know you're excited. If you're just a fan of other games, it's just like a blip on the radar. But I'm looking forward to this one. It's gonna be good. And the last thing I want to talk about is, why game? Why do you guys game? What's the reasoning behind it? What got you into it? What got you started? Well, I want to give you guys, this being my first podcast ever, and if you made it this far, you're a true believer in me. You're a believer in me, and I appreciate you listening to the podcast this far, listening to all those buts and things that were going on. And that also means you might be a willing supporter. And I really appreciate that. And I appreciate you for getting this far in this video or in this podcast if you're listening in your car or wherever. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm so indebted to you. But going back to why gaming. Why gaming for me, it started out, I was an only child, right? Only child in a household. I had cousins and whatnot, of course, that came over or whatever. But with me, it was just me. It was just me. And I went outside, guys. I used to go outside and throw the football to myself. I would be quarterback, running back, wide receiver, defense, tackling myself, doing everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it was. So video games was a big escape. Just like comic books. I used to read comic books. It was such an escape. Used to always use my imagination. And this all flows into what you see behind me. And if you can't, I'm going to describe it. If you're not looking, if you're listening to the podcast, I'm going to describe what I have behind me, because it's very indicative of me then and also me today, which makes me happy, because it took me time, honestly, to go from where I was when I was younger, like as an early teenager and even in my early 20s. And then I kind of got away from it. I almost let society dictate to me who I should be. And then I'm coming full circle around and be like, you know what? I love gaming. Doesn't matter how old you get, you can continue to game. And that's exactly what I'm doing now. I'm continuing the game regardless. I'm gonna game until I'm not here anymore. And you won't hear an Ardor out. You know what I'm saying? Because I plan to do this until I can't even say Ardor out. So my wife's gonna have to get on here and say something and let you guys know I'm gone. But I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna be here because I love it, man. And I hope you guys, if you're listening to this, you love it too. That's what we're here for. That's why I game. The passion. If you want to know what Ardor means, it's passion, enthusiasm. That's why I have that name, because that's what got me into this journey. My passion and enthusiasm for whatever game I'm playing, whatever game I'm into. You don't love them all, and that's okay. But whatever I'm into, I'm passionate about it, y'all, and that's okay. Getting into what you see behind me. So behind me, you're gonna see in the top right, you see Halo. So Halo's in the top right, and it's in the top right for a reason, because I started with Xbox, the very first Xbox. I even got the Halo, the green Xbox that you can get, the collector's one. I even got that when it first started. So Halo Combat Evolved, that's how it all started for me, at least with Xbox. Before that, I did have an Atari 2600. I did play Pong. I did play, the Nintendo. I had the track and field games on Nintendo. Double Dragon, when that came out like in the mid 80s, that was like crazy. Games were still $50 then. So y'all should be happy. Games have not appreciated in price as much, at least games at the high level. They really haven't appreciated that much in price. It's just that they added like all these collector's editions and things like that. So that's kind of driven up the price to the $69.99 price range and stuff like that. But games haven't appreciated that as much as you see like gasoline, because gasoline back there was 99 cents, and now gasoline right now for a regular, and now regular is over $3. You want to talk about appreciation? Imagine if games went from $50 back in the 80s to now $150 now. How much B crap? How much bull crap? They wouldn't sell a dang dime. No, they wouldn't get a dime from me. That's for dang sure. Anyway, I'm getting kind of crazy, but yeah. So Halo is how it started with Xbox. I never went to PlayStation. I've been with Xbox. You call me Xbox whore, whatever you want to call me. It is what it is. I'm only playing Xbox. That's just what I enjoy playing, and now PC. So that's where the Halo is there, because it meant a lot to me. The Black Panther, he really didn't have a comic book that I could get a hold of, but I really like that character. It's one of my favorites. I like what he stands for. So you see the Black Panther there. That's what that means. Captain America is really the hero that I looked up to, because I like what he stood for. I like heroes that have morals. I think that's what it is. I always enjoyed that morality portion of the hero, and I think Captain America stood for that. I did read his comics, but of course, as a kid, who relates to you? Spider-Man. Because you're a kid too, he's a kid, and so you're seeing some of the things that he's doing, having this responsibility, how he balances that, and that was very important to me. So I always was looking at Spider-Man, but as you saw these other heroes integrate with him, and collab with him and work with him and team up, that got me to know them. And then I sought out their comics. So that was smart. That's a smart thing that Marvel did, whether it was Iron Man, Captain America, Hulk, Venom, even though Venom is like an anti-villain, you know what I mean? So, or an anti-hero, and he spun off and got his own comic book. I really like Venom because I still like those brooding, tough guys, I always like Hulk, the fact that he could just rage and just go off, because that was almost something that I didn't have as an individual. So I like to tap into that, to see how that was, but also understand how dangerous it was. So I really enjoyed Marvel for bringing that into my life. And Stan Lee and Jack Kirby, of course, were a huge part of that. So that's where you look up and you see my Stan Lee that's back there that I have up there. That's my Stan Lee Funko Pop. He has the Infinity Gauntlet on. That's where that comes from. You see the Muhammad Ali, some of his greatest moments. I'm a big boxing fan. I've watched boxing my whole life. I'm more of a hardcore fan. Still, hardcore fans will call me casual, but I watch a lot of boxing. So that's big. That's why you see Ali there. You can see my Thanos little figurine. I have Suri there, and I have Kong, because I just went and saw Godzilla Kong. So I got my Godzilla Kong, which is, this was a bucket of popcorn, but now it's a trash can. So I have that here. You see my Street Fighter cabinet back there, but it's actually an emulation station. I got like hundreds of games that are that's on there right now. You see my Super Mario Brothers, because that was huge. You see my Carolina helmet, and you see my Ardor mug. And if you want to buy my Ardor mug, you can go to my store. I think I have a link to my link tree, and you can get to my merch store that way, and you can get an Ardor mug, because I know you guys exude that passion like I exude that passion for gaming. So that's all that is. Support Ardor, support passion, support gaming. That's what it is. So that's why I game, y'all. This is why I game. That's the bottom line. This is why I do it. I just love it. I'm glad I found it, because I really feel alive with it. And I'm so blessed and so thankful I'm going to be able to share this journey with you. I'm sure these podcasts are going to get better. I'm sure they're going to morph. I'm sure they're going to change. I'm going to do things differently as I go. I'm not quite sure how often I'm going to do them, but when I feel like something needs to be addressed, I definitely will be doing one. And we're just going to see how it goes. I'm going to play it by ear, as they say. But thank you for tuning into this one. This is episode 1 of Here For It. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch y'all next time. Until next time, peace.